Hi, my name is Daniel Haber. I'm from Toronto, Canada, and I just joined FC Cincinnati for this upcoming 2018 season. We're here in Bradenton, Florida at the IMG Academy, and we're talking with Cincinnati Soccer Talk.
So Daniel, or Haber, I think you like to go by. We'll just ask some questions for our fans so that they can get a sense of who you are and maybe know a little bit more about you. I'd like to start with just finding out, what is your favorite position to play on the pitch?
My favorite position to play on the pitch at this point in my career is definitely left wing.
Left wing, okay. Are you comfortable playing any other positions?
Yeah, I feel pretty comfortable playing any of the front four positions.
Okay. And then left wing, is that an indication that you're predominantly left-footed, or is it more like you like to cut in and strike with the right foot?
I'm definitely predominantly right-footed,
okay,
but I do like cutting in, and yeah, I really don't mind which wing, but it seems to me that the last few years I've enjoyed playing on the left more.
The left, okay, good to hear. And then let's think back a little bit, or have you think back a little bit. I don't need to think back, but think back a little bit about your soccer career, so to speak. Maybe even from a little kid all the way up to today. What was the most memorable soccer moment you have?
I would say I have two big moments. One of them happened in the fall of 2012 when my collegiate team, Cornell University, we won the Ivy Championships. And that was a really special moment to be able to celebrate on the field with my teammates. And the other moment actually happened last year when I was part of the Real Monarchs, and a number of our players got called up to play with the MLS team in an exhibition game against Manchester United. That was a really special moment too.
Okay, were you one of those, or you're just saying it was special?
Yes, I was one of those.
Okay, you said my teammates. I'm like, wow, that's really big of you.
And I guess
So you played against Man U.
So we played against Man U. Yeah, I got to play about 30 minutes. I guess the final moment was a couple of years ago. I think it was 2013 in the fall. I was playing for a team called Apollon Limassol in Cyprus, and I got to play. We played in the group stage of the Europa League, and I got to appear in the game against Lazio at the Stadio Olimpico in Rome, and that was pretty special.
Besides soccer, obviously, we know you like soccer, but besides soccer, what are you passionate about? What do you like to do when you're not playing?
I would say that depends on the year, honestly. I haven't finished my education for university yet, so I continue to take classes and transfer them into Cornell. But okay. I like to read a lot. In the last few years, I've been more interested in American politics. I'm Canadian, obviously, so a lot of it is new to me.
A lot of it's new to all of us this year.
I'll keep political affiliations out of it, but just interested to see how the country has been reacting to the turmoil over the last year and a half. It's been pretty interesting to me. And then what happens in the Middle East is of particular interest to me. I'm Jewish, and I played in Israel, and so just watching the political dynamics in the Middle East has a direct effect on me and some family that I have living there and some friends that I have there.
So where else have you played? I mean, Cyprus,
So Israel. I played in Israel, in Cyprus, and then in Vancouver, and then in Salt Lake City last year, and now here.
Has anybody sort of stood out to you? Is there anybody who would just, not necessarily like technically on the pitch, so that's fine too, but has anybody just impressed you in some way or another, kind of just caught your attention?
I could be honest and say everyone has caught my attention in some way or another.
Okay.
I notice sort of how people play within the first few days and their tendencies, and I think everyone on our team has something special about them that they bring to the table that's a little bit different. The one thing that I noticed more than anything else, though, is Dekel actually was my teammate with the first team that I played for in Israel, at Maccabi Haifa. And that was my first professional contract, and he was one of my first friends on the team, and I learned a lot from him in terms of how to be a professional, how to prepare yourself every day, mentally and physically. And watching him now, 5 years later, he hasn't changed at all. He's obviously older and more mature and experienced, but he's well into his 30s now, and he hasn't changed anything about the way he approaches the game and how professional he is before, after, and during practice.
So a lot of times I ask other players that I've talked to about leadership, right? Mm-hmm. Because, somebody's going to wear the captain's armband, but typically there's more than one voice within the team that shows leadership that people look to. It sounds to me like Deckel obviously is somebody who you've respected and seen as a leader. Has anybody else stood out to you so far on the team?
Yeah, I would say the other guy that I would look to for leadership the most would be Kenny Walker. He's obviously experienced, but he's been here for a few years, and just his demeanor on and off the field is he's good with all the guys, and he's a calming presence. So I think he'll provide a lot of leadership.
Okay. And then how about maybe a little levity on the team, right? Because, you can't just all be about business. Sometimes you have to have a little fun out there.
Mm-hmm.
So who's the jokers? Who's the ones that, kind of lighten the mood at times?
The guys that are constantly cracking jokes would be Spencer Ritchie and Jimmy McLaughlin, for sure. And on the pitch, the one who's cracking the most jokes is Mark Village.
Okay. Any good stories? Mark Village, I think I got the story. If the training dummy we've heard.
Oh, the training dummy.
Yeah, but maybe anything else? Any other good stories?
I think we'll leave the stories out of it for now.
Okay. Well, hopefully we'll get you back sometime. Maybe we can get some good stories. We always enjoy hearing about some of the funny antics that go on the field. Let's talk about Cincinnati. Had you ever been to Cincinnati before?
No.
So first time was when you showed up to preseason or whatever here.
Yep.
Did you have any preconceived ideas of the city, thoughts on what to expect? What surprised you when you got here?
The only preconceived notion of Cincinnati is that I had a feeling it was a small, big city, where it's not a huge city in terms of people, but it has all the big city amenities. So it has the sports facilities, it has the theater, it has the music, and it has the downtown to support a big city feel. What I love about it so far is where we live in relation to the university and to downtown is very convenient. Obviously it's winter, so we haven't gotten to explore that much, but I'm excited to live here for the year. It seems like a great city.
Okay. Have you gotten out much at all? Have you tried any restaurants?
Yeah,
shops?
I forget the names of the restaurants, but I've been out to that Over the Rhine area and the banks, and we live in Oakley, and I've explored a bit of the university, and then I forget what the area is called, just on the other side of the river in Kentucky. Newport, yeah. So I've tried to explore a little bit, but it has been cold. And during training camp, you do just want to go home and rest after practice.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's not conducive to a lot of traveling and walking around at this point. But and then if you're following on social media at all, somebody by now has probably asked you if you've tried Skyline Chili. So I have to do the mandatory question of any.
Actually,
Cincinnati.
No one has asked me.
Really,
I have not tried it.
Okay, well that's disappointing. I feel like as an ambassador of the city, I shouldn't have to ask you that. But yeah, so we're pretty passionate about our chili, and I'll just let you know, as I've let other people know, it is mandatory that you try it at some point.
Okay.
If you don't, then we actually do have to escort you out of the city. No, it's not that bad, but it is unique. It is something that's truly Cincinnatian. So I hope you get a chance to try it.
I will definitely try it.
All right. Well, it was good talking to you, Haber. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Right. Thanks a lot.